Hey everybody, Vanessa Alfano from Healthy Style New York and mommyhoodtake1.com. Here today to talk about a little sensitive subject, baby constipation. This is my little one, Aria, who is now 10 months old. Say hello, Ar. Say hi. Say hi. No? And we finally, after 10 months, gotten past the constipation, and I'm gonna, hip hip hooray, and I'm gonna share some of the stuff that really helped us. So right off the bat, let's talk about, quite often constipation starts when your baby starts eating solids. For her, it started actually from day one. She was very gassy, she was very constipated, but with the introduction of solids, a lot of children get constipated or babies get constipated. Right off the bat, you want to make sure what you're feeding them is non-binding. It's not, getting them backed up. So you want to stay away from rice and rice cereals. You want to stay away from binding foods like bananas and other binding fruits and vegetables that you might not realize are, like carrots, and apples, and sweet potato. There's quite a few. Do your research. It's all on Google. You can find out. The fruits that you want to be giving them are the fruits that start with P, so the pears, the peaches, the plums. Oatmeal instead of rice cereal. You also want to be aware of how much fluid your baby is getting. If you can get the baby to drink water, that's a great thing. If you can't, I couldn't get Ari to drink water. She wouldn't do it on her own. So we actually also use Pedialyte, which one of the pediatricians recommended. And Pedialyte has electrolytes in it, and actually is something that they use for diarrhea quite often to replenish the electrolytes in your system. But with her, it's flavored. She'd drink it down, so it also is something that we used to make sure she was getting enough water into her system. What else did we do, Aria? So then prune juice. That's a very common. Your pediatrician might say, oh, add a little prune juice to their bottle. That will help. All of that, if that still doesn't work, and everything that you can look up on Google, and you're still frustrated, which is where I was at. I was so frustrated because it was so difficult for her and painful that I called the pediatrician ready to go see a specialist and find out, what's going on with her little system. And she was probably 6 months old at the time, 7 months old maybe, and, really suffering. So I had an appointment set up with a specialist, and I said, you know what, before I have someone poking and prodding at her, you know what, maybe we should just do some more research, some more in-depth. So I called a friend of mine who's a functional medicine doctor, more of a holistic doctor, and she said to me, well, cut out dairy right off the bat. She said, a lot of people have a problem with lactose and are lactose intolerant, including babies. Cut dairy out and also add a probiotic in. So we cut the dairy out, cut the yogurts out, put her on a soy formula, and if you're breastfeeding, then of course you'll have to cut the dairy out. I had stopped breastfeeding at that point, but we put her on a soy formula, and we also added a probiotic. And what a probiotic does, you can find them online. You can Google infant probiotic or baby probiotic. I actually got it from Dr. Blum, this functional medicine doctor, her office. But what a probiotic does is basically it introduces good bacteria, because their gut is filled with bad bacteria. Everybody's body has good and bad bacteria in it, and the probiotic actually neutralizes it. So if, the baby is constipated, it might help aid things along. So we did that, and I had talked to a mother who said her son had been constipated from birth up until age 3, where she finally realized he was gluten intolerant. So we also cut out gluten. And I'm not saying she has celiac disease, but it was one of the things that we thought, well, that might help her. Come here, baby. You want to be a part of the show? So I wasn't really giving her bread, but But I realized that even the oatmeal I was giving her, here, let's read the book at the same time. Let's see how talented I am. Even the oatmeal I was giving her had wheat flour in it. Some of the mainstream brands are not just all oat flour. I think it was Gerber, and it had oat flour and wheat flour. And wheat has gluten. Between all of those things, watching what she was eating, adding more liquid into her diet, cutting dairy out and cutting gluten out, we actually did really well. And also as she got older and I started to introduce some other foods like pureed spinach, works wonders with her. Lentils, big thumbs up. I puree chickpeas. A whole bunch of high fiber foods is what you want to be giving them. And you know, if they still have a problem after that, all of those things I just said, then you want to see a specialist. And of course, discuss this with your doctor as well before doing any of it. But this is what really helped us. And while she's still somewhat traumatized when she has to do her business, it is a lot better situation. It used to be like a very long process and lots of screaming and crying. But we're good now. We're good, right, baby? Anyway, I hope this helps you. To check out more of my adventures in mommyhood with this little one, you can log on to Mommyhood Take 1. Okay. All right. We're saying bye-bye. You want to say bye-bye? Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. How about giving Mommy a round of applause for that? Okay?